Want to welcome in our panel this morning. Our White House correspondent Emerald Robinson is with us again. Emerald, good morning. USA Strong Executive Director Aaron Elmore is here. Political analyst Mark Halperin back with us, and Project 21 National Advisory Board member Christopher Arps is with us. Mark, quick question for you. I know that you were watching this yesterday, the coverage. We had the sheriff, the CHP, California Highway Patrol sheriff was on yesterday. Then we had the team that actually was able to take Tiger out of that Hyundai Genesis. Are you surprised or are you suspicious at all with sort of the coverage that we saw yesterday? They were being almost deliberately vague about the situation. Now, I'm not insinuating anything. I just, I worked in California for a number of years, and usually the CHP is far more direct with accidents like this.
Yeah, I mean, look, as Aaron said, first priority is health for Tiger Woods and concern for his family. At the same time, we've got public officials out there appearing to have a full press conference where they reveal what's known, what's in the public interest, but they made explicit reference to his management team and what they wanted revealed. So I think there's a public interest in knowing, not an invasive issue of privacy, but there's a public interest in understanding what happened here. And my suspicion is, based on the way Tiger's team has acted in the past, is they're obviously concerned about protecting him more than they are about public disclosure.
Yeah. We are hearing more and more that speed might have been a factor in this accident. He was leaving a luxury hotel, going down the hill, windy roads out there, and he was going to a golf course for a promotional event. This happened just after 7 in the morning Pacific time yesterday, but we'll continue to sort of keep a close eye on that as that story develops. I want to play a soundbite. Emerald, we'll start with you. This is Mitt Romney yesterday talking about President Trump. I want to play the soundbite, and then I don't know where this guy falls, but he is just flip-flop city. Take a listen here.
I expect he will continue playing a role. I don't know if he'll run in 2024 or not, but if he does, I'm pretty sure he will win the nomination.
You think he would win the nomination?
Oh, I think he'd win the nomination if he runs. I mean, a lot can happen between now and 2024. So, and I'm not great at predicting. I subscribe to Yogi Berra's philosophy in that regard. He said, I don't like predicting, particularly if the future's involved. So I don't really know what will happen there, but I look at the polls, and the polls show that among the names being floated as potential contenders in 2024, if you put President Trump in there among Republicans, he wins in a landslide.
Emerald, that surprise you?
No, I mean,
not at all.
Romney might go against the president, but he's not blind and deaf, I think, and it's pretty clear what kind of approval and favorability that the former president still has with the Republican base. I'll tell you, there's lots of conversations going on right now already about 2024, especially considering how after the impeachment, Trump's favorability went up, which he noted in a letter saying he's the only guy who can get impeached, or in a call and say he to Greg Kelly actually and said he's the only guy who can get impeached and actually get more popular from it. And I mean, that does appear to be somewhat true. But Mitt Romney also said there's a lot of time till 2024. It'll be interesting to see the former president speak for the first time publicly at CPAC on Sunday and what he does say publicly about 2024. I know there's a lot of people waiting to hear that.
Yeah, Aaron, what do you expect the president to say? We are hearing that included in his speech is that he is most certainly still the leader of the Republican Party.
Everyone is very excited for his speech, but I think we should all stand corrected here. President Trump wasn't impeached twice. He's a 2-time impeachment champion. So let's all just make sure we have that straight. Right. I'm kidding, but it sounds amazing. I think everyone is really having all eyes on CPAC. They want to see what President Trump is going to say. What are his next moves? What's next on the agenda? Because he's been relatively silent. Granted, the mainstream media and the technocrats have silenced him, but CPAC is going to be a great opportunity for President Trump to connect with the base, get out some really solid messaging, talk about next steps. So Sunday will be a big day for the Republican Party. Some of the rhinos might have to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show because they thought they were up to bat again. I assure you they're not.
All right. We've got Chris, do you think that Donald Trump's we don't expect any sort of formal announcement on Sunday, but I think he's also wants to make it clear that he's going to be campaigning on behalf and against people during these midterm elections.
Yeah, I think with the recent implosion of the Lincoln Project, I think Senator Romney was sending a message out to the Never Trumpers that you need to get your act together. You know, there have been reports that saying the other splinter Never Trumper groups are splintered. They can't come together with a common message to try to defeat President Trump. Donald Trump is strong, and I think Mitt Romney is right on this one. I think he could be the front runner and win the nomination in 2024 unless Florida Governor DeSantis gets in.
Yeah. Mark, a recent poll claimed that 46% of Republicans would follow President Trump if he started his own party or left the Republican Party. That's a big number.
It is, and it worries a lot of establishment Republicans. You know, you think about the basis of Donald Trump's rise to the White House: immigration, China, career politicians, a revitalization of the American economy. All these things are front and center now in the early decisions made by Joe Biden. So obviously super interested in the president's speech, the former president's speech, but there are a lot of other big thinkers, big players in the Republican Party speaking at CPAC. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of things they talk about, what kind of reception they get.
And you know what else I think is interesting? In the last 24 hours, we're seeing stories floated about, the former Vice President Mike Pence wanting to make sure that Republican voters know that there is no bad blood between them, that he's been saying good things about the former president. And I think that's a very pointed leak, because they do realize how popular the president or the former president is. And the former vice president has weighed his political future and taken a look and decided he better get some media out there suggesting that he's still on, the good side of Trump.
Don't be stunned if he shows up at CPAC unannounced as well.
Yeah,
I thought he turned it down, Mark. I thought he turned down going to CPAC, Mark. Is that true?
Well, he said so far, but there's a slot on this public schedule on Sunday, the day that President Trump's speaking, that says special guest. Doesn't say who it is, and we know that he's been talking to the senior folks at CPAC in the last couple of days. So I'm not predicting it, but don't be surprised.
Right, and if he says, if all of a sudden he shows up, they're not going to be like, "I'm sorry, Mike," but
that would make sense for the latest media leak, right? For over the last 24 hours.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited just because Donald Trump, he's been out of office for over 30 days now, and the guy is still top of the news cycle. Yesterday was the only day, obviously, with the stuff with Tiger Woods. That was the only day that he wasn't. Emerald, by the way, I've also noticed 2021. And I love your tweets when you say today is, day 325 of Flatten the Curve. I love
20
those.
days away from a year.
Literally. But you know what? A year ago, Dr. Fauci told us we all didn't have to wear masks. And now it's bizarre. 2021, we're seeing Andrew Cuomo and Dr. Fauci, even the revered, infallible Dr. Anthony Fauci, 80-year-old man who's been in the bureaucracy since the early 1980s. They're now both finally being criticized. Finally.
Yeah, there's actually a Fire Fauci hashtag that they're allowing to trend. I'm not convinced it wouldn't have trended before, but given the big tech censorship that we know about, it's now actually getting some steam.
Yeah, maybe 2021 is going to be different from 2020 after all, Chris.
Hopefully, we can only hope.
Yeah. All right, panel, we'll leave it there. We're going to pick this right back up after the commercial break. Stay with us. Good stuff.